All right, guys, so we didn't have a good night tonight. We only got 1 out of 3. Grayson Allen made a three-pointer, and he played more minutes than he normally would have because it was a blowout. So it was no need to keep the boy Green in the game, so they took him out early. Jones never played in the fourth quarter. He was on pace to get his. He had 17.2. Would have hit it. Dunn made his, but this is what happens with blowouts. And a note, the LA Clippers are the worst road team in the NBA. All right, guys, let's break it down.
Coming into your YouTube airwaves, I'm Vaughn, the Statman, and welcome to the Stat Room. Ladies and gentlemen, these are some of the top plays from the NFL, NBA, and some of my top wins on Prizepicks and on FanDuel. And guys, you can follow me on Twitter at VonnTheStatman. And guys, you can follow me by going to my website, vonnharris.com. So guys, without wasting any more of you guys' time, let's break it down.
Welcome back, everyone. I am Vaughn, and thanks again for joining me on this DFS journey of ours. And I got some solid picks in store for you today. And if you've been watching me more than one time, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, because obviously you love me. Now, these picks, they're going to go up, they're going to go down, and sometimes they take these picks completely off the board, or they'll put these picks into a green goblin, so you can use your discretion whether you want to get these picks in early or not. And also, guys, a quick recap of yesterday. We had Dunn to go over his points, rebounds, and assists. He did that fairly easy. Jones was at 17.2 fantasy score. Never came back in the fourth quarter because it was a blowout. They ended up being down by 20. And Allen, who typically would have been out at that time, but since they got a big, it was no need to bring Green in because Green would have came in for those Allen minutes. But since Allen stayed in longer than what he would have had, he ended up making a last three-pointer that crushed the line. But guys, this happens. When you have a blowout, you have to go on to the next day, just like day trading. Sometimes you have your setups right and you think the market is bearish, and then it retraces and goes down and it becomes bullish. You know, you can think that it's going up. You can have a correction and then it becomes bearish. It happens, guys. So when you do picks, you have to have a short fuse. You have to have steel in your cojones because you're going to have these type of days where it goes this way. All right, guys, let's get right into it. So for the first pick, guys, we're going to go down and we're going to look at Wagner. Now, Wagner is in a great matchup. Going up against Boston. Boston doesn't have the length. They are very small, and they are a horrible passing team. I'm talking about one of the worst passing teams probably in the league right now. They pass the ball very poorly. It's not a lot of good ball movement. And Wagner is going to have a big field day against this team. I love him in points by itself, but you can also go with his fantasy because I can see him getting at least one steal. Now, he doesn't get steals all that often. I believe he's had 2 steals in his last 5 games. Yes, 2 steals in his last 5 games. Blocks, not really blocks either, 2 blocks. But this is a game where I believe he can get 1 steal or 1 block. So you can go with his fantasy, but I'm going to just rock with his points. So for the first pick, we're going to take Wagner for more than 20.5 points.
If you like the video so far, hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, and leave a comment.
Okay, guys, so I gave you Wagner to go over his points. I love that. That's one of my favorite on the slate. He really should be at 19.5. The 20.5 means he got to get to 21. He typically finishes with 22, so I still like it. But if it goes up to 21.5, don't touch it. All right, so for my next pick, we're going to go down and we're going to go back to this game. And we are going to go on the Celtics side of this equation, and we're going to look at Derrick White. Now, it pains me to say this because Derrick White is one of my favorite players, but it's been the struggle bus for Derrick White so far this season. His last game, he did have 42 fantasy score, but that was at home against one of the worst defenses in the league, against Washington. He now takes on Orlando, who is very, very tough. when it comes to guarding the shooting guard position. So Derrick White is going to definitely struggle in this one, because you're going to have Derrick White is going to be a shooting guard, and Pritchard's going to run the point. Pritchard will have a better game than Derrick White, in my opinion. But this is a game where I see Derrick White, he's going to really struggle to get 26.5. Because anyone who they put on Derrick White is going to be a lot of length on Derrick White. So, and we're getting value here because most of the sites got Derrick White at 25.5. So we're getting a point. So we'll take that all day. So we're taking Derrick White to go under 26.5 PRA. So let's go down and get our next and final pick. For our next and final pick, guys, we're going to go over to Atlanta at home versus Toronto. And we're going to get Dyson Daniels. Since Trae Young has gone out, Dyson Daniels has been absolutely amazing. And he's going to get a matchup that's like a matchup made in heaven. He's going to be guarded by Quickly. Quickly sometimes moves too fast for his own bridges. So I see him turning Quickly over at least 2 to 3 times. Dyson Daniels should get 40 fantasy points in this matchup. Now, I know his fantasy score is not up yet. You don't want to touch Dyson Daniels for PRA because he probably will get you 14 to 16 points, about 5 assists, 4 rebounds, but the steals and blocks is what makes him valuable. I see him getting 38 to 42 fantasy score in this game. So wait for his fantasy score to come up, but that will be your third and final pick. So it will be Dyson Daniels fantasy score, Franz Wagner points for more, Dyson Daniels for more on his fantasy score, Derrick White to go under 26.5 PRA. So that will be it, guys. So guys, don't forget to win-win. That means give people what they want so you can get what you want. And don't forget to think in ink. That means write it down so that way it come true. Good hunting on this massive slate. Love you guys.